guys.
Hey, Coach. We'll get started with Steve McGehee, News 9.
Hey, Mark, I just want to get your initial thoughts on your team's performance tonight. Almost won it, and once again, you did it with 8 players.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting old, but just got to commend them for their effort and competitiveness. I thought on a short turnaround, after a tough loss the other night, we dusted ourselves off. We made the adjustments, and most importantly, we showed up to compete, and we competed for 53 minutes. I thought we left it all on the court again. These ones sting because you want to come away with a win when you put that sort of effort forward. But, we're focused on progress, and, these are certainly games that we continue to show progress, and we continue to strengthen our muscles competitively as a team.
Paris Lawson, OKC.
Hey, Coach, you guys had 32 assists tonight. It's another season high for you guys. And the last time you did that was without Shea. Again, just what did you think of your group's ability to kind of share the ball and get kind of collective offensive contributions?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before the game with you guys. When you're without a guy like Shea and without primary ball handlers, you got to do it with the team. And I think 32 assists is indicative of, us doing that tonight. I thought did a great job of playing through our bigs. Those guys made great decisions. They obviously had a large share of assists for centers. And the guys they trusted each other. They kept the ball moving. Nobody cared who scored. And I thought, we had a really, really good team effort on the offensive end again.
Joe Masato, the Oklahoman.
Yeah, Mark, can you just take us through those last few seconds of overtime, the decision to call timeout, and then what you were hoping to get on that last possession?
Yeah, so there's a 6-second differential, and when you get a stop in that situation with that much time, I like the idea of seeing if you can kind of break out and run. So I told those guys in the initial timeout if we got a rebound to go, and that I would interrupt them with a timeout. And when by the time we got the ball and Darius had it, I thought there were like 4 or 5 guys behind him, not 5 guys behind him. There were 4 guys behind him. We didn't have numbers. They were set. I didn't think we were going to get anything good there. So that's why I burned it. You can't advance it after you pass or dribble. And I was hoping to maybe get Hami on the run or get it into Al and either have Al bring it or get it to Hami just to get his speed into the game with 4 seconds left. And obviously, I wish I could have drawn a cleaner play there, but our guys competed.
And then I wanted to ask about Lou. He's still kind of in a slump from 3, but he had a couple really tough drives there in overtime to sort of keep you in, obviously, the defense against LeBron. What did you think of the way he played tonight and fought through his shooting struggles?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't shot it well the last few games, but I thought tonight offensively he had different sources of offense. Like, he really drove the ball. He got fouled. He was fearless. He didn't allow mistakes or missed shots to get in the way of his aggressiveness and his competitiveness. And then he's just unwavering defensively. You can't throw anything at the guy offensively or in the course of the game that throws him off track on that end. And again, he threw his fastball tonight, not only against James, but he was on Schroeder quite a bit as well. And he did a great job on those guys.
Nick Gallo, Thunder Broadcasting.
And Mark, I just wanted to follow up on Lou. It's one thing to be competitive, but another to turn that competitiveness into effective, play on the floor. What is it about Lou that allows him to actually kind of turn all that energy into something productive?
Well, I mean, the thing that's, unique about him is he's literally never distracted. You never look out there and say, man, where's Lou's head's at right now? Like, he's just perpetually engaged in the competition moment by moment. And, when you have that type of focus and mindset and concentration, plus the physical effort he puts out, plus his physical profile, I mean, you see the result when he plays. And so I'm happy with how he played tonight offensively, though, because he's a complete player. He's a developing player on the offensive end. And even though his shot's not falling right now, he's finding other ways to add value to the offense, either through tonight, like facilitating or attacking and getting in the line.
Barry Trammell, the Oklahoman.
Yeah, Mark, I wanted to ask you about the last possession of regulation. Al had the ball out at the top and was sort of by himself. And then finally, with about 5 seconds left, he motions for Lou to come out. And was that just in the flow of play? And what did you think about Horford's decision to want Lou clearly to take the last shot at that point?
Well, it's tough. He's getting guarded by LeBron James, and there's a quickness advantage there. So it's hard for him to break down from the top. And that's just how he plays. I think it's more of his nature as a player. I mean, he's a quarterback. He's a facilitator. We were able to play through him quite a bit tonight because of that. And we just, in those situations, I think you're better off kind of letting the guys play and letting them go make a play. Unless you're really in trouble, than letting the defense letting the other team set their defense or get subs in. So, I was happy with the way we played. I was happy with that. You got to live with some of those decisions if you're going to let your guys roll. And I have tremendous trust in Al and the rest of these guys.
Was that any kind of sign that Al is trusting Lou, or has confidence in Lou, or trying to get Lou involved in any way?
I mean, maybe not trying to get him involved, but certainly the trust thing, and Lou, look, Lou, Hami, these guys are players that they're in their second and third year. And they've built up a lot of equity and trust inside of the team offensively with the way that they've played. And they're growing offensive players. And Lou is certainly in that category. He can really drive the ball. He can get to the paint. He makes the right plays. Hami's in that category. Baze is in that category. I think there's a lot of trust inside of the team, and that's, I think, one of the best qualities of this team is they trust each other. They play together, and they truly want the whole to be better than the sum of the parts on both ends of the floor. And I thought, what you're talking about is a reflection of that.
Myron Patton, Fox 25.
Yeah, I'm assuming, I guess, there at the end, you take a couple dribbles, you couldn't move the ball to midcourt or whatever. And then two, could you talk about just your starts? You've gotten off to these fast starts. Kendrick Williams, I think, was 9 of 11 the first half or something like that. But just if you could address those two situations.
Yeah, the last play, like I mentioned, anytime you get a miss in that situation with time, I think it's worth exploring the fast break first if you can get numbers. And then we didn't have the numbers that we would have needed to get a clean look there, in my opinion. That's why I called the timeout. And because we took it to that, we couldn't advance it. And that's just, the consequence of, letting the guys rip a little bit on a miss. And, that's something I live with. And then your second question was the starts. Like, it's really just 48 minutes. We've had times where our first quarters were really poor. We try not to really focus on portions of the game or halves of the game, quarters of the game. We just try to focus on competing to a standard and executing to a standard. And playing together, for 48 minutes. And, whether that's the first minute or the 48th, we want to try to be as consistent as possible to those habits and those standards.
Daniel Bell, Black Sports Online.
Hey, Coach. Kenrich had a career high 24 points, and he seems to be a guy that's always giving you guys what you need when you need it. Can you talk about how he keeps himself ready?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it, before about him, and we'll double down on it here. He just, the minute he steps over the line, the switch goes on competitively for him, and circumstance does not matter. It could be practice. It could be our high intensity workouts, our 3-on-3 workouts when he wasn't playing as much. It could be at the end of a blowout. It's the first minute of the game. It's home, it's road. Rain or shine, he's just going to bring it. And so he's turned that into a competitive habit. And as a result, I think when you compete like that, good things happen. And I think we've seen that with him. Obviously, he really got it going offensively tonight, but night after night, he just continues to compete at a really, really high level. And he makes a lot of good things happen for the team as a result.